In this video, we will do a deep dive and discover all possible use cases of a type that many TypeScript developers have only ever encountered in their error messages. Let's talk about the never type. So before we start to go into some examples, let's first figure out where in the hierarchy of TypeScript types the never type is located. So let's check out this graph here. And we can see that, of course, at the top is any or unknown, and string, number, and so on are extending from it. Now, the interesting part is that the never type is extending all other possible types. So this means that we cannot assign something which is not never to never. What do I mean with this? So let's say we have a variable here, and let's call this variable hello. And we say this is of type never. Now, what I can't do is I can't say hello YouTube, because as we can see here, string is not assignable to type never. Because if you think about it, the never type is like more specific than the string type, so you can't assign something which is less specific to something which is more specific. But what we could do is we could say, okay, this here is of type string, and we could say as never, and this would work because we can assign something which is more specific to something less specific. So you maybe think, well, how can this be useful? So let's dive straight into some examples and figure this out. So the first thing we will do is we will work a little bit with functions. So let's say we have a function here, and we say this function is called error, and we say throw new error, and we say an error happened. Now, if I call this function here, and I have a console log here, and I say we are here, then we don't get any compile time warning or anything like that. But what really happens here is, if we think about it, when we call the error function, we will never reach line 9. So basically what this means is we should get a warning, because this throwing an error means that we will never return from this error function. And we can use the never type to tell the TypeScript compiler that exactly that will happen. So we can say error, and we say returns never. And now we can see line 9, we get a warning, and if we check what it is, we can see unreachable code detected. Because TypeScript now understands that because the never type means that we are in an impossible path, that the function here, the error function, will never return. So TypeScript now understands that this line here can never be reached. So of course you could also do this with other stuff. You could, for example, say we have a function here while true, and we say here while true like this, and basically this function also never returns. And we can also say here we have a never type which gets returned, because as already mentioned, this now shows an impossible path, something which will never happen. And if we change this now here to while true, we can see we still get a warning that we will never return from this function. Now we can use this to do some really cool stuff with narrowing types. So let's just remove this here, and let's say we have a variable here, and let's call this variable maybe null. And we can say this is either a string or null. Now we want to check if this maybe null is null or not, and in case of it being null, we will throw an error. So we say if maybe null is not set, we call error like this. And now let's check what the type of this maybe null is after this check. We can see now it's string, and it's not string or null, because TypeScript is so clever about figuring out these types. So let's figure out what happens here exactly. Well, TypeScript here sees, okay, we have this branch here where we check for if it's null or not. In the case where it's null, or basically if it's not set, we will call this error function. This error function never will return, so TypeScript figures out, okay, we will never go out of this if check, so this can only be reached if maybe null is not null. So really, really cool stuff here, I think. So, but we can make this even more concise. We can say here, we create a variable not null or error, and we now can say, we say maybe null, and we say, okay, if this is set, then we return it, or otherwise, if it's not set, we call error. So TypeScript figures out that this here has to be a string, or otherwise we will throw an error and we will never return to this code. But we need to be able to assign here something which is of type never to string. Otherwise, we would get a compile time error because TypeScript would tell us you can't assign X to Y. But because the never type is a more specific type and is extending all other types, we can easily assign it to everything else. So really, really cool. So the next thing we will talk about is exhaustive switches. So let's say we have a type here, languages, and we have TypeScript or JavaScript. Now we want to have a function get real name like this, and we pass in our language, and we want to return the longer name of these languages. So we say switch here, and we say lang, and we say case here, JavaScript, we say return JavaScript like this. Now, of course, we get a compile time error because we have not covered all the branches. So TypeScript sees, okay, this case JavaScript is covered, but the case for TypeScript is not. And if somebody calls your getRealName function with TypeScript or with TS, then we will get undefined and not a string. So of course we have to fix it. So we say TypeScript like this, and we say TypeScript. So, but now the problem is, of course, this works perfectly fine. But what happens if I say getRealName, for example, PHP as any? This still works, of course, because we can just say, okay, we use as any to say to TypeScript, well, we pass in anything we like, don't check this. Now, the problem, of course, with this is that we only get compile time safety, but not runtime safety. So if we want to be sure that we can't pass in anything beside TypeScript or JavaScript, we have to add a default case here. So in this default case, we say throw new error, and we say the language is not known. Now, but what is the problem with this? If I go back into my type here later and I say, okay, well, I add PHP into it, and then I remove this as any, we can see I don't get a compile time error that I have forgotten to add the PHP branch, because TypeScript thinks, okay, well, in this case, we will just enter the default case. And we can see here, if we check the type, we can see that the lang now is narrowed to PHP. So this means that TypeScript understands that the default case here can only be reached in case of the lang parameter being PHP. So, but the problem, of course, as already mentioned, is we now don't get a compile time error when we forget to add this branch. So how can we have both the runtime and the compile time safety? Well, we can use the never type. So what we can do is we can say, in this case here, we say, okay, the lang satisfies never. And what this does is, with the satisfies, we can say this type here, the type of this variable, has to satisfy this type. And this, of course, does not satisfy it, because we can see here, this is just a string and it's not never. But as soon as I change this here to the case PHP and I say here return PHP, we can see here now the lang is now of type never, because all other paths here are basically resolved. So it's not possible to reach basically in the default case. So it's like, as I already mentioned, this impossible branch which is covered by the never type. Now this means that we now have the possibility to have the compile and runtime safety. So if I, for example, remove the case here for TypeScript, we can see again an error again, because lang is now a string again and is not of type never. So with this approach, we can have exhaustive switches which have the compile and runtime safety both in place. Now, of course, we can do the same stuff with an if-else statement. So I can change this here, and this works perfectly fine and exactly the same. If I remove, for example, here the TypeScript, we can see I get an error again. So I really like this approach because we don't have to sacrifice one safety for another. We can have both the compile and runtime safety. Now, sometimes we have to sacrifice something if we only can have this or that. And let me show you how you can achieve this, because sometimes you really want this. So let's say we have a type here, and let's call this type image message. And this has an image path in it, which is a string. And we have a text message like this, which has a text in it, which is a string. Now, let's say we have a type message, and we want to have it to have a sender, which is a string, and we want it to have a timestamp, which is a number. So what we also want to have it is either an image or a text message. So only one of the two. So what we now can say is, how can we do this? We say, okay, we have our intersection type. We want to have this basic type, and we want to have either a image message or a text message like this. Now let's check what happens if I create such a variable message here like this. Now I can say sender, which is my name here, and I can say, okay, we have our timestamp, which is just a date like this. And now we have to, of course, add a text or an image, right? Because we have specified this. So let's just add a text here, hello YouTube. Now, this works perfectly fine, right? But what happens if I try to add an image path in there? We can see that this works perfectly fine. Why is this? Because TypeScript allows us to add more properties to our type here. So it's always allowed to add more elements to an existing object. And because we have added basically this image path here, we are allowed to add both into our message. But we don't want this. We only want to allow text or image path. So how can we achieve this? We can use the never type. So we can say, okay, in case where we have an image path property, we want to also have a text property, which is optional, of type never. So we only allow a text property of type never. And the same here with the text message, but the other way around. And we say here image path never, like this. And now we can see message no longer compiles because now we can only use image path or the text, because now TypeScript figured out that if we have a text in here, we don't want to have an image path and vice versa. So really easy to do with the never type. Now we could make this a little bit more generic, but this would be something for another video. So let's now talk a little bit about how we can use the never type to filter some properties in our types. So let's say we have a type here and we say string or never. And we say here, well, this is of type string or never. Now let's check the type. We can see never gets stripped away. So this is important to understand. If we have union types and we have never in it, this will get stripped away from the final type. And we can make use of this to filter our types. So let's say we have a type here ABC, and this has an A property in there, a B property in there, and you already figured it out, a C property in there. Now we want to filter it and remove this C property. For that, we can create a filter where we pass in our T, our type here we want to filter. Then we have our to filter away type. So for example, we will then pass in the C. So now we can use mapped types here. And I already did a video about this. You can find it in the info box, but also in the description below. So we can say here key and key of T. So we loop over our keys of our ABC type here, or over the type we pass in. And then we say as, and we say, okay, if the key we pass in extends to filter away. So basically, if this is the same as the type we pass in to remove, in this case, we use never. Otherwise, we just use the key itself. Now, as the value, we just leave it as it is because we're not interested in the value type. So what we now can do is we say we have a type here AB, and we say filter ABC, and we remove the C property, and we can see that this worked because we have seen prior that in a union, the never gets stripped away. So this is why we don't see a never property in here, because this gets stripped away from the TypeScript compiler. Now, before we end, let's figure out a final thing from the never type. Let's figure out if a type really is of type never. So we have here this IsNever, and we pass in a T. And how do we do this normally? We say, well, if T extends never, then we return true, otherwise we return false. So now let's check here, and we have our IsNever, we pass in never. Now what do you think happens if I check the type here? Well, something funny will happen, because we will see this returns never and it doesn't return true or false. But how is this possible? It should return one of these two, right? Well, the problem is that this extends clause here needs a union to work on. But as we have seen, the never type gets stripped away from unions. So this means that we don't have something to check. We don't have something to check if it extends it. And because of that, we are basically in an impossible path of our code. And so TypeScript just returns never. Now we can fix this. We can say we wrap this in an array, and we wrap the never type also in an array, because now we have a union which gets checked against our type. And we can now check if it's true or not. So if I change this here to string, we can see this is false. So I really find this funny that we return never in case where we want to check for the never type, and we really have to do some interesting stuff to make it happen that we can really figure out if something is never or not. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you learned something useful today. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated with the newest TypeScript stuff. And if you want to have a certain topic covered, let me know in the comments. And I see you soon in the next video. Bye.